All right, everybody, this is part 2 of Shockbox, an actual email I received from someone that was into tarot card reading and shamanism, and they've had demons, attacking them in the bed, pulling, violently shaking the bed, stuff like that. So let's get back to the story. This is part 2. Next, I got into shamanism by studying different cultures and witch doctors. I wanted to visit them, but I didn't have the money. Then I got into UFOs and aliens, but nothing came of that. Then I got into doing retreats. I did several Tibetan Buddhist retreats and then a Zen retreat. I was meditating daily and labeling all my thinking as thinking. On these retreats, there was always scary, supernatural stuff happening to me when I was sleeping outside alone in my tent. I would always wake to hear what I thought were evil demons around me, and I would pray to the Earth Mother or whatever politically correct entity I thought would help me. It was all about me and my journey and my evolving to be a higher being. Looking back, I can say the whole process was very self-centered. However, I just wasn't reaching the higher stages fast enough with shamanism, Buddhism, and Zen because I needed a real teacher. So then I got a real yoga teacher at the college who studied in Gitananda's Ananda Ashram in Pondicherry, India, knew about Rigveda and the ancient Sanskrit teachings. And I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Sanskrit is supposed to be the oldest language, and looking back now I realize it is probably related to ancient Babylonian culture. I joined the advanced 2-year teachings training program and learned Raja, R-A-J-A, Laya, L-A-Y-A, and Tantra Yoga. Tantra, probably. Let's scroll down. She's going to explain what it is. For those who don't know what that is, we would do advanced Hatha Yoga, body postures, to get the body in shape for moving very strong energy. Kundalini, to open our energy centers, chakras, I guess, with the goal to reach, quote, enlightenment. Now this is interesting. Watch what she says here. Kundalini energy literally translates to the word coiled like a snake. She says, if that doesn't tell you it's evil, nothing will, LOL. We would chant extremely old sacred Sanskrit chants to open up the chakras. We would fast and do many healthy body activities like healthy diets, no animal or dairy products. And by the way, guys, I hope I'm pronouncing some of this right. Chances are some of these things I'm pronouncing wrong. But the major activities we did were advanced breathing techniques called pranayama and sky dancing tantra training. I learned advanced training in both right and left hand tantra. I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I was teaching yoga, so now watch, she moves up to teaching it now, while attending the advanced yoga training. The advanced training was never to be taught to anyone. That was only for our enlightenment. When I attended the yoga training at the Mount Madonna Center in California, hey, that's where I'm at. That is when the fairy tale broke like a mirror in a haunted movie. I even remember thinking, wow, this is just like the haunted Hollywood movies, except it was real, and I was in it alone. Now, I was used to ghosts, however, but these were not ghosts. Ghosts are dead people who haunt a place for various reasons. This was something else. In other words, it starts getting violent. Watch that. At the yoga training retreat, after doing activities all day to move energy, what we were really doing was invoking spirits, which I now realize, something, you guys, I've been saying all the time. This stuff, you guys, is real. This stuff is real. She says, however, at that time I just thought it was all about me and my reaching higher enlightenment. How safe could that be? I was at the new Mount Madonna Center retreat building, and I with others at the sleep area, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night with the most extreme pain located in my neck. This was a type of physical pain I had never had. My yoga teacher would say it's blocked chakra, C-H-A-K-R-A, but I tell you, it was just demonic. I was in so much pain. I literally got up in the middle of the night and jumped into the shower with the hottest water. And by the way, I've heard this before. where people have such extreme pain when they're involved with this type of stuff that they'll get in the shower, they'll put the water on scalding hot just to get rid of the pain, and it doesn't, even that does, the scalding hot water doesn't even burn them in a way because the pain so much. And this is what happened here. She says, with the hottest water I could get from the shower, and yes, I literally burned my skin red because I could not handle the pain and needed to try to numb the pain, even if that meant burning my skin. So it's like the pain won't go away. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was asleep, and I tried knocking on their doors to wake them up, and I was crying and shouting out loud for help, and no one would wake up. And it was lightning and raining very heavily outside, just like in a scary movie. I cannot find anyone awake. I could feel something watching me, something very interested in me, and I saw lots of lightning strike all around me outside the large picture windows. The Mount Madonna Center is at the top of a mountain, and I'm telling you, this place is just pure demonic. I could not handle the pain, so I finally said, whatever, or whoever you are, come take this pain from me. I invite this entity to come to me and heal me, was what I was thinking. Well, both of the large fire doors burst open wide, and I saw nothing but black from the outside, and I knew if I continued any further I was going to be in the presence of the most evil thing. So I lifted up my hand and did what the Buddhists call a hand mudra, M-U-D-R, for stop. And I quickly walked back to my room scared to death, but somehow the pain disappeared. I tried telling others in the morning about it, and everyone seemed to think it was okay, or I just had blocked a chakra. No big deal. Looking back, I know now it was Satan. She believes it's demonic evil. Next, all kinds of supernatural stuff started happening to me. I would dream of Satan coming to me asking me for help, that he wanted to change his evil ways and that he was sorry. You see, I wanted to be a therapist, so I was so happy to think me, yes, poor little me, was going to do therapy on Satan and help him repent. But not repent to God, but to just behave and be a nice angel. I laugh now, but this was a very scary and real period of my life. I almost died several times after this. I would wake in the middle of the night to hear the word Satan being shouted in my ear, and glass would constantly break near me. This caused me to abruptly stop all my yoga and occult practices. I had to. I was literally dying inside and out. People at the college deep in the occult were even worried about me, but their answer was to meditate. So I did what every good lost soul does. I relocated and moved from Colorado to Minnesota and tried to forget it all and got a new job. However, I was being followed. I knew I had evil things after me, but I kept trying to appease them by burning incense and dancing to them. Looking back, I realized just how much grace God had for me. I was so lost, and my life was full of drama, relationships, and alcohol. Now that the yoga stopped, I started drinking a lot of alcohol. I kept moving to different places, and I always held the job during the day, but I was being tormented in my sleep, so like the nights were literal hell for her. Satan was really after me, and at that point I knew it, so she finally realizes she's involved with something pretty serious. I moved again to Florida, Missouri, and then Kansas City. I had many occult things happen to me that other time might share, so she's even got more things she may share. Soon I realized that all my moving and relocating was not keeping the beast from approaching me. I felt like my time was running out. When it got to the point that nothing would help me, all my religious and New Age beliefs, nothing could save me, I knew I was lost and that I was headed for death. But somehow I knew that there was even something much worse than death. However, I never believed in a real hell. But even without ever hearing the gospel of salvation, I knew I was heading to an evil place. No one had ever explained the gospel of salvation to me. I just thought Jesus people were freaks and that they needed to be enlightened, and that once I got my transpersonal psychology degree, I would help the Jesus freaks to realize that Jesus is not the only way to God. You see, I always believed in God the whole time I was into yoga. I was worshiping God, so she thought, and his Hindu god elements, Shiva, Brahma, Krishna. Okay, guys, one last part, just a small part right here, where she talks about how she was able to break free of this hell. And this is part 2 of Shockbox. We're now going on part 3 and the final segment of this awesome actual email I received.